Welcome to my new YouTube channel, which is called Think Different, and I would love to introduce you to a new theory of mine, which is called informational waves. This topic is about radio waves, light, and all these things around. I was coming up with that idea once I was when I was coming up with the idea once I had when I was thinking. I was thinking that I was thinking about an antenna, a specially shaped antenna, which is sending radio wave signal in 360 degrees, and I was imagining that 10 meters around the antenna you can be receiving everywhere this signal in 360 degrees around the antenna. And then I was thinking the same thing you can be doing 100 kilometers around the antenna. But there I was imagining if the radio wave signal is particles, then they had to multiply themselves, because 10 meters around the antenna, these particles are everywhere around in the circumference. And if 100 kilometers around the antenna, the circumference is bigger, so that the particles had to multiply from 10 meters to 100 kilometers around the antenna. These gaps had to be filled with new particles. The particles had to multiply. And then I was thinking how this could be, how this exactly could be working. It's a nonsense. And then I was having a new idea where I was thinking that the radio waves are being triggered in the time and space matrix. That means that the electron, which is changing the orbit to a high orbit around the atomic core for a short period of time, which is pushing up, is exactly hitting the time and space matrix. And this time and space matrix is then waving, and this sends the radio wave signal. And that is actually the core of my theory, where I say that there is no light matter there is no light traveling as matter, or radio waves traveling as matter or particles, as matter of waves or particles, but it's the time and space matrix which is being triggered and is waving and spreading the signal. The next thing I would love to explain is that the radio waves are invisible. That the radio waves are invisible until they cannot be seen or received until they hit matter. Which means in the sun there is a chemical reaction which is triggering the light, for example, and then the radio waves then the informational waves are spreading. The light is spreading, the informational waves are spreading and hitting, and they have to hit another atom in a molecule that the information can be received. It's very simple. You cannot see the light until it hits your eye, and therefore you can be seeing. For example, you can be testing that very easily in the dark bathroom, where you put a torch in your right hand, and then put in front of the torch you put your left hand, and just spread a little bit these two make a small gap between two of your fingers, and then exactly in a cylindric form the light beams in front of your eyes, and there you cannot see. Here the light beam is sending the light beam is sended, and there you cannot see the light. There could be for example like small light beams that you could see, but you cannot see them until they hit the wall on the left side. and from there, from the wall on the left side, the light is reflecting. The light is reflecting on the left side in all angles and in all angles or directions, and from there it's, for example, hitting from the reflection. The reflection is hitting the torch and your hand and everything in the bathroom, and the first time you can see the informational waves, the light. And to make it more visible, for example, I could be explaining one small thing. You can be in our atmosphere. There are molecules, atmosphere molecules, and these molecules are exactly everywhere. They are very close next to each other and are filled around the planet Earth. And there, you absolutely, in the normal circumstances, you couldn't see absolutely nothing if there would be no special conditions how the light is behaving, because the molecules you couldn't view through these molecules. You would see absolutely nothing. And the reason why you see everything on planet Earth is that the light is, for example, hitting a molecule of the atmosphere. There, the atom and the electron. There, the electron around the atom is going into lower orbit. When the time and space, when the information waves are being triggered, then the electron pushes a little bit to a higher orbit and triggers the information waves, the light, which is then spread as waves, as the way this time and space is then waving and spreading the information waves. And then when there is a molecule and an atom, then it hits the light hits then, or the information waves hit the electron around the atom, and I assume that the electron is going to a low orbit, that the information of the light can be processed by the atom. The information of the light is processed by the atom, and the reaction on this receiving of this informational wave is that another informational wave is being triggered, and that is the reflection of the light, which reflects always from matter until it loses in nothing. Exactly. And imagine now a molecule of our atmosphere which is receiving the light, the informational wave, the light wave, that is being then processed by the one atom of the molecule or all atoms of the molecule, and then in the same angle it triggers another light wave, another informational wave, and that goes through all the molecules of the billions of molecules until they reach the ground, and here everything reflects, and you only see light, informational waves or light that are hitting your eye, and that is because they reflect in the light is reflected very widespread in very wide angles, because it's a wave, not some light beams that go like that, but it's a whole wave which is always spreading like that, and therefore you see only reflections of the light that is hitting your eye, but there you can see, of course, everything around you. Yeah, and then the next thing is that, as we know, there is no particle wave dualism, because the light doesn't get spread or send it as matter waves or as particles, but the time and space matrix is triggered. So the particle wave dualism is nonsense. The next important or very interesting thing is the quantum experiment, where it's called the double slit experiment, where particles of the atom, like the spheres in a proton, or the electrons are being shooted through a slit against the wall, and under some circumstances you see particle hits at the wall that go through the slit, or you see a wave. You see them as waves or as particles, like that. And that is a nonsense, because there must be a mistake in this double slit experiment. I believe that either they shoot electrons, and when you shoot an electron, they could be exactly on the way to the wall, they could be starting an informational wave, that you can see the particle as a wave. So there must be somewhere a mistake, because there is no explanation for that. There is no. They must have, they must have been doing a mistake with the experiment, because if you the electrons are actually the electrons around an atomic core are changing to a higher orbit very shortly, and are triggering then the time and space matrix, which is a wave. And if they shoot the electrons against the wall, it could be possible that the same effect occurs, and the electron is hitting just the wave is starting an informational wave. So the electron doesn't hit the wall, but there at the beginning an informational wave is being triggered. So I believe that the double slit experiment, the quantum physics double slit experiment, is an absolute nonsense. A small add-on I have to add: I called informational waves also because they are sending the information how the molecule or the atom is looking like, so that you can see everything around you. All molecules and atoms that are reflecting, or all atoms and molecules that are reflecting the light, has to send this information that you can see things around you. That's also why I called them informational waves. Thank you so much. So I hope you enjoyed my video. The next time in my Think Different channel I will be speaking about quantum particles, and I hope you will enjoy it too. Have a nice time, peace, and bye bye. Bye.